Well, I was not expecting to be walking on the famous West Sands beach at St Andrews at all this morning, but everything's come together for me, apart from the fact that the sun is shining and there's not a sign of rain at all on the horizon at the moment, and the wind, although still there, at least is semi-tolerable now, and the thought that I could actually hire a beach rollator. It's never occurred to me. But this is wonderful. Here I am, walking this famous beach. St Andrews in the back there. You can see it. And believe it or not, these high dunes, which do get a hell of a battering, I think, from everything, are actually protecting me from that wind, which is coming from the west and south. So down here on the beach, it's actually beautiful. So let me share a bit more of it with you. Good afternoon. I'm a bit puzzled. I have been making some adjustments due to the shells. I think you recall that the Affery battery had caused the previous metal shells to crinkle, buckle in fact, and then in my recent visit to Edinburgh with various sorts of speed humps and such like, sadly it buckled even more. I mean, in my temporary repair it still held it up, but there was an even further buckling, to the point where I just thought, I've got to do something now. So I landed myself at the big icky shoppy and I've now got some new shelving, which I've been working at all day, trying to get fitted because it's slightly larger. Let me show you. Yes, as you see, I've changed from metal to wood. Pine to be exact. Not surprising, given it's the big yellow Swedish barn. Battery's a little bit lower now than it was. Perhaps a tad on the low side for my physical comfort in terms of operations, but the most I have to do is plug and unplug stuff, and you know, one has to do that at home as well. So, I'm making do with that, and I've got that extra shelf, spare shelf, because I bought extras, As you can see at the moment, for fitting as a guard, as well as having it bungeed in up at the back, so that's not going anywhere now. If it bounces up and down, that pine is pretty solid, so any damage would have to be pretty serious bumps indeed. It is wider. This it now takes right up pretty much to the door jamb now, whereas previously I had about 7 centimeters gap, which does mean that when I put the table flap up here, I will no longer be able to, I suspect, well, I haven't tried it yet, but I suspect I won't be able to nip through like I did before, but that's okay. I just have to rearrange my management of that. So bungees as usual until I get anything else, but this being wood, I should be able to fit some doors. Maybe not for the cooking bit, but for this upper area I might put some doors on. So it's taller and it's wider, but it's actually, in terms of fitting the space, it's the same depth. That lamp I didn't have. That was my cousin Michael who donated that to the van cause, and it's ideal for this little corner, although with these new shelves it's not quite shining as it should onto the cooking bit, so I might still need a little extra something in under there, but that's all right. It's, you know, you just keep adapting, don't you? Anywho, a little bit of a wider angle. Stand back again. So that's it in situ as a whole. So it's definitely making more of a statement than the metal shelves did, but it does already feel rather more secure, and certainly isn't going to buckle. So that's the latest update. Very good. That's the second strip in the grey out and done with, and this is me back in the hutch now, just for a short stay, because I'm due to go on the road again by the 2nd of May down to the Borders to meet up with H and do a few other things. Just after that week with her, I'm hoping I've got an appointment by that time for the grey to go in for the annual service, plus a couple of things that have come up which are on recall but not dangerous to driving, so I've continued driving because I was so close to the service anyway. Neither of which has presented me a problem as such, but they're to be sorted. And you will recall on the blog I talked about, those of you that read the blog will know that there's been a leak sprung over the sliding door, which only really manifested when Kathleen was on with the great big wind. Must have been driving something underneath something. Anyway, that's got to be sorted on the van. So various little bits and pieces hopefully will get sorted out mid-May. So the insurance has come around and been sorted, the registration's been sorted, and just got to get that sorted, and that's us for another year. Can you believe it's been a year I've had the grey already, and unfortunately with weather and a combination of other factors, really only this has been the second big trip. But what a trip it's been, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing the few slightly dodgy videos that I've been producing. And I do hope you've been following along on the blog as well, where of course most of the story is held, with a lot more views seen through the photographic technique. This videography thing is interesting me, and I'm quite keen to keep practicing at it. But, you know, I don't have the funds, nor do I feel inclined to be getting all the great big equipment that all of the main vloggers use. But I think there's a market for these smaller, quieter videos from older ladies like myself. Anyway, I will be going out on the road again in a couple of weeks, so keep your eyes peeled for more videos coming from that at some point. But the blog, of course, will hold the most current stuff. I am on Instagram, but I don't really use that a lot. But if you care to look it up, just look at Yammacca, YAMMACCA, and you'll see a few things turning up on there from time to time. So thank you all for those that have stuck with me and had a good view of all of these videos and who have been reading the blog, and I'll keep you posted. In this time between, I'm hoping to get a little bit more of the interior build done as per the shelving you've just been watching. So keep your eyes peeled. Let's see if I can get that photographed as well. Thanks again. Bye.